Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. This is going to be the third part in our series of a large family management and how we manage a large family effectively, or most of the time it works. So today is going to be Wednesday, and if you watched my first video, you saw that we broke our days up into doing a main task every day. Well, today is one of my favorite days, and it's baking day. Now, I remember back in the day when I only had 4 children and I loved to bake. I love baking new breads, I love making new muffins, new cookies, and it was so fun to do all those sort of things, and I really enjoyed having a freshly baked snack, mostly every week. Well, then I had 6 little babies, and there were many times I thought to myself, wow, it's been like forever since I've even made like cookies for the kids, or I can't remember what homemade bread tastes like. So those are my days of busy. Well, then they grew up, and they grew up a little bit, and as they got older, maybe it was a phase where I was pregnant, or I had a little bit more extra time and I was able to do some more baking, and those were nice days. And so, but now my life is a whole lot easier, and I can designate Wednesday as my baking day, and I can do as much food as I'd like on that day, pretty much, unless everything falls apart, which doesn't fall apart too often. So what I do on my Wednesday baking day, if the children, like especially when they're younger, they wanted to make like an extra treat, or they're like, let's just bake this, or I thought in my head, I need to make some homemade bread, or I'd like to do this, or I'd like to do that. Well, instead of, the reason why you have it managed out into days is so that on the other days, you know what your focus is for that day, and you do that all on that day. That gets done. So on Wednesday, my baking days, I know that that is the day I'm going to get any baking done. So if Monday comes along or the weekend comes and my husband said, I really like some brownies, I know on Wednesday to plan to make some brownies. And so that's what helps. So for our Wednesdays, I usually always do homemade bread. That's something we always make. And then I usually plan to do like some kind of Italian meal with it. And so bread's easy to start in the morning. And I have some videos on here of how we make our own bread. And so bread's easy to start in the morning, get the starter going, and then let it mix up and rise up while you're making other things. So I usually always do bread, even though today I'm not gonna do bread because, and I'll share with you in a minute. And we also like to do some snacks. And so for our family, when I plan my grocery menu out for the month, I usually plan on doing 2 snacks for the week. And so it might be, Rice Krispie treats, or it might be granola bars, or puppy chow mix, or something like that. So, that when we're going to the park, or we're gonna have friends over, we have some kind of treat to take with us. And so if I plan to do 2 each week, or I might save for like a dessert for us on the weekends or something too. And so then I just have something to take that can share and is easily stores for the week. So I do those as well. Also, if I have eggs and I need to hard boil them, I usually will do that on Wednesday just so I can have them ready for the week. And if we have some fruits and vegetables, if I didn't have any cut up, I'd probably cut some up for that day as well. We used to make homemade hummus a lot, and so I would always make that with some pita chips, homemade, but I can't get pita bread cheap here, so I don't usually make this much, but I do make homemade hummus a lot. I just don't have that this week. What I did when I first started doing my management series is I would make a little chart on my wall and explain the different days and what I had to do for that day. And so I would have Wednesday and I'd have ideas, because if you don't have any ideas, it's always hard to figure out what to do. And so I would have bread at the top, always made my bread, and then I would have 2 snacks written down, eggs hard boiled, fruits and veggies cut up, and then I always did like a hospitality meal. And that was just something that I can make because we are to share with others. If we can, we have plenty of food. Even if we don't think we have a lot of food, it's really not that extra to make an extra loaf of bread or an extra pan of lasagna or half a pan of lasagna for another family. And so we would always do that, and then we take a meal over to a friend's house to share with that way. Moving here, I don't know as many people here. We are learning. And so I know we'll just do that more at certain times to be able to share with other people, but that's a nice way that you can bless somebody else with the fruits of your hands. So that's something we'll do. So what we're doing nowadays, this week is I'm hard boiling some eggs here. I just want to make sure they don't boil. This week is going to be I'm going to go to the store and pick up my once a month shopping food, or go shopping for it. So I wasn't going to do a lot of baking today because I still have a lot of bread in my freezer, like specialty breads. So I'm not going to do any homemade bread today. I will the next time. But something I am going to do is make some homemade granola, and I will let you watch as I make that. And so I was so excited because I got my new order of all of my foods from my bulk food store. I'll show you. And so I got all my stuff here, my big containers of coconut macaroons, sesame seeds, wheat germ. And I think there's a big thing of oatmeal. I got 3 buckets of this. And I've got my flaxseed, my chia seeds, my walnuts, coconut oil. There's some more oatmeal, and there's my thing of syrup I'm gonna use, some honey. And I got a big giant thing of maple flavoring because I really like that too. So that's what I'm gonna focus on today. I did that, and I did my hard-boiled eggs because I still had like 16 eggs. I thought, well, I should hard-boil those, and then we'll just munch on those and eat them. And then I put in the crock pot some salsa pineapple chicken for dinner, and then over here I had to use up some of my potatoes. Yesterday we made just oven-fried potatoes, and the children really like them. Sometimes I like them, sometimes I don't. I have no idea why, but they really liked them yesterday and said, let's have more today. So what I did is I cut some up and I just have them soaking in water so I can drain them and then cook them in the oven for dinner tonight. This is what I've got all of my ingredients in here for my granola. I am just a guesstimator. I just know how things look, how they're supposed to taste, and so that they turn out because I've made it for so long. If I have a recipe for the first time, I might kind of follow it, but I usually kind of just do whatever works for us because I've done it for so long. If you go over to my blog at plainandnotsoplain.com, I have this recipe, and it's just for easy or basic granola. I have one for chocolate granola, which is really good, but this was just gonna be a basic granola. So in this one, I added, this is wheat germ, these are sesame seeds, this is ground up walnuts because walnuts were cheaper than pecans. I like pecans, but they were like $18 for a bag, where I think they were only 13 or something like that at Sam's Club, so I got those. This is coconut. I get the macaroon kind because then it doesn't have the strings and the kids don't go, what is the coconut in there? You know, the dreaded, like the tomato piece they find in your food. And then I also, this is the nuts actually, sorry. Then it goes and I did, this is ground up flaxseed, and then underneath there is chia seeds. I'm trying to think what else I put in here. Milk powder, and is that it? I guess so, and then I do have to add salt to it, which I forgot. I'm looking at my list, and I think that's it. So this is my basis for it, and then I will mix this up, and then over here is my liquid ingredients. So I did coconut oil. This I did like 2 cups of coconut oil melted, and then I put in it some brown sugar and pancake syrup. Now you can use like the all-natural 100% pancake syrup, but I can't do that because it's very costly. So I got this big jug right here of it for like $3 at our discount store. So I used a lot of that. So that is in here, and then I bought some, this is my favorite. It is a maple flavoring. And I totally just dropped that in the stuff. Okay, this is my favorite. It's a maple flavoring. I bought it with my bulk food store order, and it's awesome. And so I use that, and makes it taste so delicious. And I put a little bit of butter vanilla in that. So that's what's in here. Tasted it. It tastes very sweet. So this will be perfect because if it tastes good, everybody's gonna like it. So you just have to make sure when you mix it that all your dry ingredients get wet. That's the key. So in my original one, I think I had 5 cups of oatmeal, 5 cups of wheat germ. This one is well over probably 10 to 15 cups of oatmeal. I probably did about 10 cups of wheat germ, so it's a little off, double, triple, but this is just what we like doing, and I'll just do a huge batch of this. So I'm going to record as I'm mixing this up. Okay, so we just mixed up the granola as you saw, and the key is just getting the ingredients wet. When I first started making granola, I thought less liquid the better because it was healthier. Well, then I mixed and then I would end up with really dry oatmeal, and it wasn't that good. So if you want granola that you're actually gonna like, make a good wet mix and put it in. If you feel like you need to add more, add some more. If you saw in the video, I had ours, I mixed up, and then it looked like It was still not, everything wasn't wet, so I had my daughter pour some more syrup in there. So we did that, we mixed it up, and then now I've got it in the oven, and I'll show you that. That looks really good. Smells delicious. Oh, it makes your house smell so good. I actually put mine in the oven on 300 in the oven here. So I put them in pans, and you can do them in a thinner pan, but I just did this and I'm gonna stir it. So I'm just gonna be here and watch it. Make sure you pay attention to it because you can burn it. So I think on my blog I have to put it at 250 or 275 maybe. And that's a safe thing so it doesn't burn, but I'm doing my best because it's already 2 o'clock. I didn't do my baking this morning because I was doing other things. And so I thought I'll do it this afternoon because usually we go to the park and do all that, but it's freezing today. We actually had some snow flurries. Ugh. So we decided to stay home. So today, I just figured I'll do this afternoon and record a little bit, which is good. It worked out good, and the kids are playing downstairs. So, so the granola, I have mine on 300 because it's 2, and in an hour from now, I have to put my oven fries in to get them cooked nice and crispy before dinner when we go to church. So what I'll do is I'll put my granola back in the oven after dinner is finished, and then I will turn it on really low, maybe even warm. I guess I'll see what my temperature goes to, like a 150, maybe 200, probably 200 say, and leave it in there when I go to church, and that'll be fine. Someone will be here, so that will get it, and it'll get nice and crispy, and it'll be so, so good. I really like granola. I didn't like it before when I didn't add all the liquid to it, and I made it drier, and then I'd buy some at the store, and I thought, wow, this tastes so much better. So I realized you just need to make it taste good, and so tasting good is an important thing, or you're not gonna eat it, and it's much healthier than a store-bought cereal. So even if you're adding sugar, like I'm adding pancake syrup to it, and I go, oh my goodness, I'm feeding my kids garbage. No, it is 10,000 times better than cereal that they process in a factory. So that little bit of corn syrup sugar that they're gonna get is gonna be all right, because it's a lot healthier than box sugar cereals. So don't be hard on yourself when you're making it. So it's a better choice than before. There are many other better options even after. There's a lot better sugar options and all that too. But this is what we do for now and what we really, really like. So I will do this. The kids love it with apple slices and some peanut butter, and then they take it and dip it in the granola. My favorite, I don't like yogurt at all. Unless I'm pregnant. I really crave yogurt when I'm pregnant, but any other time, I can't handle the taste of that. Or kefir, no. So I don't eat it. My kids like it though, granola with in their yogurt with their sauce, and they really like that too. Some like it with milk. My boys love having granola in the morning with milk. I don't like milk and I don't like yogurt. So what I do is I put mine with apples. Apples cut up, bananas cut up, and some cranberries put in there, and then I'll eat it that way. Or I'll mix it with some applesauce. That's probably my all-time favorite way to do it, and so it just gives it like a cereal. It reminds me of the cereal and milk days that I used to have, but I don't have those anymore. So that's really good. I really enjoy that. So if I get unsweetened applesauce with that, I'll have that every day for breakfast and even snacks during like at nighttime. That's something I really enjoy. So granola, super easy. You can make it super cheap. I had a lot of things added to mine just because I bought all that stuff recently. I think last time I made this a few months ago when I was doing a video, I didn't have half that. I just had the oatmeal, and I actually had the flaked angel coconut from Christmas left over, so we used that. And I had some peanuts that I had ground up. They were like a party pack of peanuts, you know, the big giant mixed ones, and I ground those up and it was more peanut flavor. I had a bunch of that all, as long as you grind it up, it doesn't matter. So I poured that in there, so it gave it, it tasted peanutty, which my kids were like, oh, it tastes like peanut butter. So we used that last time. I had a little bit of sesame seeds left over. I had a little bit of wheat germ, and then I'm trying to think what else I had a little bit of. I didn't have or did I have? I don't think I had any chia. Oh, I did have chia seeds, just a tiny bit of chia and hemp seed. No hemp seed. Yes, I did have hemp seed because it was kind of crunchy. So I poured in what I had. Use what you have. If you can buy all that stuff, then great. If you can't, you can just, you can literally just use oatmeal, and that's fine too. Oatmeal and some nuts for a little crunch, but if you can't, do all the other stuff. It doesn't have to be super specific. I used to think you had to keep it perfect, and then I realized, you know what, no, and you'll find what you like. You'll go, okay, this needs more crunch. Like I like more crunch in mine, so I like adding the hemp seeds to it because it's crunchy. I like adding the nuts to it because it's crunchy. You got to do what's good for your family and what you enjoy. So that's good. That's a nice cheap thing. I will make this. This will last us for a couple months, not just one. I'll probably make it. I'll probably even put some in the freezer. It's not super warm yet. When it gets to summertime, I got to freeze things so they don't get all soft. So I might put a bag, I'll put them in gallon bags, and I'll show you that in the freezer, and the rest I'll store in the pantry in some big glass jars, and then I'll be eating that. I love it. It's my favorite. The kids will eat it too. It's like a nice snack. So we did that today. I didn't do any bread because we have a lot of bread in the freezer. I was able to purchase, and so we have a lot of specialty bread right now, and I'm trying to use up what I have instead of making more. Like usually we would make some pumpkin chocolate chip pumpkin muffins. I usually make those every week because that's a nice snack. It's an easy, quick thing. The kids really like that. But I didn't do that this week because I'm trying to eat up the snacks and things that I had from last month's groceries. So I know we still have snack mix. There's a couple little corn chips we can have with some salsa, and there's a couple packages of graham crackers, just miscellaneous things that I've been putting out every day so that we use up our fragments. It's very important to do that instead of keeping, yes, I can make new stuff, but if I use up what I have, stuff lasts a lot longer. So that's what we're doing today. Otherwise, I'd be making bread, and I know I'll do another video where I make it from start to finish because I really enjoy homemade bread, but I'm not doing that today. And then, so since it's baking, I focus on that. So I'm trying to think what else we did. So I'm making my hard-boiled eggs. I'm using those up today. We already cut up our carrots yesterday. You can see in our other video. So those are all gone. So now my refrigerators are getting empty, which is good. And then I wanted to use up my potatoes because they were actually sprouting. So I just cut off all that, and then I'm making the oven fries with those tonight. So it's about using up what you have, stretching your food if you can for your kids, and we only do it on Wednesday. I mean, I might, if I'm having a blah day, or blah day meaning like I have nothing else to do, which is very rare, I might say, okay, today I'm gonna make, whatever, chocolate chip cookies, or today I'm gonna make some cinnamon rolls or something, whatever, random. But I don't usually do that. Usually I always dedicate it to Wednesday so that I know that's the day I do it. I get it done. We have to go to church at night, so I get everything baked and cooked and it's finished. The kitchen's cleaned up and it's finished for the week, and we have snacks and stuff. So that's what we like to do. There was my buzzer for my things. I've got my potatoes over here. I couldn't show it in the first things. I cut these early this morning, and so I did not want them to turn brown, and I wasn't ready to do anything with them, but I did not want to spend my afternoon cutting because I don't like cutting potatoes. That's one job I do not like. Some people have jobs they don't like. Mine is cutting potatoes. So I put them in ice cold water, and they've been sitting here all day. I will drain these out, put them a cookie sheet, and I'll line it with tin foil. I actually do 2 cookie sheets with tin foil, and I'll put some grapeseed oil, and then I will sprinkle some seasoning salt and just let them bake at like probably 425. I'll hurry up on those, and that will be with our salsa pineapple chicken, which is in the crock pot. It's cooking away. It's just cooking away. It's got drumsticks in there and breast, and we really like that. So I also made some kombucha. There's my eggs in there cooking. I gotta peel those. I also did kombucha. I haven't done this in a long time. My husband just texted me today and he said, do you have kombucha made? And I'm like, wow, that's been it's probably been a good year since we've drank it. We used to drink it all the time. I stopped. I felt like my body was done having it, and so I think it's really important to listen to your body, when it tells you to do that. And so, but he just asked if I could start making again. So this is what it's all at the bottom. This is literally, you can see on my site how to make this, and this is tea and sugar, and you let it simmer and do its thing, and then you add it in here with the starter and the SCOBY, which is probably on the bottom. It looks down here. So if you know anything about kombucha, great health thing to do, and it's very simple to make. I couldn't even believe how expensive those were at the store. I went to the store and saw they were like $4 for a tiny bottle, and I thought, oh my goodness, I need to market these and sell this stuff because it's so cheap to make at home, and it's so much better. My husband said he had bought some at the store today to give to somebody to try at work, and he's like, oh wow, he says that wasn't even as good as yours is. So I'm like, that's good. So super simple to make. If you can get a hold of a SCOBY and make it, you can make. We used to make literally, I think I had 2.5. I would make 6 gallons of this stuff every couple weeks, and so we drank a lot of it, but we don't do it as much anymore. So what I do, kombucha, and then I add blueberries to it for flavoring, and then I let this ferment, and it gives a nice blueberry flavor, and then I just let them sit and put them in the refrigerator, and that's what my husband and I will drink. It's so delicious. It's been about a half hour. I've had to stop and start this a lot of times because I was tending to children, and so I just checked my granola for the first time, so I would recommend checking every half hour and kind of stirred it. It was getting a little bit where I could stir it, and just flipped it around, and I got my potatoes out. I rinsed those, drain those. All I did was put tin foil on here and put some grapeseed oil, and then I put the seasoning salt on top, and that's simple. That's dinner. I did my dishes, got everything finished here. My kombucha I have to put away. I have to put that up in the cupboard. And that's it. My Wednesday is super easy today. Normally, I have more that I like to do, but today, like I said, I'm trying to gather up my fragments instead of making just because I can. So my recommendation to you is, instead of baking all during the week and stressing yourself out trying to make dessert, dedicate one day to baking, and then you know that that's the day you're gonna have your things. And I usually start early. I didn't today because I was working on computer stuff, and I thought, and we weren't going to go anywhere in the afternoon, because usually if you start in the afternoon, it's just by the time dinner rolls around, you're exhausted. So I usually start in the morning, and I can work throughout, helping with the children and things like that. And I also recommend making a simple dinner for your baking day. I would not do something that takes a lot of prep work. I have my freezer meals now, so I would throw in a lasagna or something like that. And then I would do my bread, something easy. Today I just did chicken in the crock pot because I'm at the end of my meals. And I thought we can do that, and then the potatoes we had to use up. So it worked good to do those today. So make it simple on yourself. When you have that, make your lunch simple. Our lunch today, I had to use up some food, and so I had pita bread, and then my kids made homemade pizzas on them with spaghetti sauce and some cheese, and so that worked out really well. So that's what I do for a Wednesday around here. That's how we manage our home. Wednesday is baking day. We also do my regular chores, so if you look at my list, on Wednesday, actually I don't have any extra except baking because my extra will be, I was just looking at the kids, they actually just straighten up the basement. But what I do extra this day is I kind of wipe off my appliances. That's something I focus on. If I miss it, it's okay. But after I'm done baking, usually everything's dirty, and sometimes we get stuff on the counters, the cabinets, and I'll look at those and just do a quick wipe of everything. So what I'll do now that I'm finished, I will go get my spray bottle of vinegar with my little rag, and I'll wipe the handles of the refrigerator real quick. Do the microwave, wipe that all off, wipe off the stove so everything's clean and it just looks nice. It doesn't have to be a deep clean, but just a quick wipe of everything so that it's fresh, it's done, and then we'll have tons of granola now. I'm so excited for that. It smells so good in here right now. I love maple granola. So get some good maple flavor and it'll taste so yummy. So, okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is our Wednesday in managing a large household series, and I look forward to doing the next one, which is Thursdays, and keep watching for it. Okay, have a great day. Bye-bye.